Yes, hello everyone. It's Monty G here. For those people, my new subscribers who are new here, yes, this is still a horror channel, but every time when I have what I call my most anticipated films, such as Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker, or Avengers Endgame, I do these videos what I call my thoughts on videos, yes. And here is my thoughts on the final saga, or the final chapter in Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker. Yes. Now, Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker is a 2019 epic space soap opera. It was directed by J.J. Abrams from his Bad Robot production company, and it was written by him and Chris Terrio. I think I pronounced this correctly. Now, we have an ensemble cast here. We have Carrie Fisher, Mark Hamill, Adam Driver, Daisy Ridley, John Boyega, Oscar Isaac, Anthony Daniels. Those are basically most of the cast members that I can run off here. And obviously, the plot, very simple. The surviving resistance faces the First Order once more in the final chapter of the Skywalker saga. Yes, all the way back from 1977 until now. This is it, the final chapter of Star Wars. So here we go, the final chapter of the space saga that began way back in 1977 with the original Star Wars, created by master filmmaker George Lucas. Now, after some Star Wars fanboys and some critics as well criticized and actually flat out hated 2017's The Last Jedi, J.J. Abrams returns to the director's chair. Now, co-written by Abrams and Chris Terrio, I think I pronounced that name right, it seems they brought back some of the elements that make this saga one of the greatest sagas on film of all time. Yes, I actually like this particular end of the Star Wars saga. Is the way saga should end, but of course I do have my complaints about this film. We'll talk about that later. Now, before we begin, I'll let everyone know this is going to be a non-spoiler review. I won't review any spoilers. I'll simply just talk about what I liked about the film, what I didn't like about the film, some of the aspects I thought about the storyline, and some other stuff about this particular film, but I won't put any spoilers in this particular video. Later on, hopefully by either tomorrow or Monday, I will have a spoiler review up as well. And then I believe this Saturday the 28th, I will have a live stream spoiler discussion about Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker. I have one guest. His name is Mark Krychek. I think I pronounced his name right. He's a film critic from the Spoiler Room podcast. I've been on that show a couple of times. He was actually part of the Creepy Channel Crawl earlier this year, and I thought it was time to have Mark on my channel. So Mark is going to be here next Saturday. I hopefully should have another guest. I want to have a film critic and a Star Wars fan come on the live show. We'll definitely just talk about what we thought about, obviously, The Rise of Skywalker. But onward to the review. Now, first off, the story is a simple one, as Kylo Ren, and of course everyone else, finds out that the evil Emperor Palpatine is alive. What the hell? Darth Vader threw him down the shaft at the Return of the Jedi. How did he live? Well, we also find out that he has this huge amount of Death Destroyers. He wants to bring the Empire back from the ashes, and he wants Kylo Ren to kill Rey and become the new Emperor of his new empire. That's basically what the story is about. Now, I'll give Abrams some credit for directing an epic movie here and bringing back some of the things fans love about Star Wars, something that was kind of missing in The Last Jedi. We have some nice set pieces, some nice decent space battles, and the simple story of good versus evil. I think that's one of the elements that he tried to bring back. I guess because of all the complaints, now I'll say this, I didn't have a problem with The Last Jedi before. I know a lot of fanboys, especially Star Wars fanboys, really hated on The Last Jedi. I didn't have a problem with it, so I'm assuming that's the reason why they brought Abrams back in. They rewrote some of the script and tried to bring back some of the elements that a lot of people loved about Star Wars. And I think one of the best stories of Star Wars is the good versus evil story. Now, the set pieces on the planets that Ray and company have to go to because they have to do something, I'll talk about that during the spoiler review. They're either bright and colorful or they're dark and black. Kind of reflects the emotions on the people on the planet that they're on. We have one planet that is bright and joyful and happy. The people are joyful, they're happy, they're singing and dancing, and the colors are nice and bright. Well, the dark one is sad and bleak. You can just see the evil emanating from it. And I think what they were trying to simply do is just, hey, we got good and we got bad. We have good people here, we got bad people here. Which is something that I said before we didn't have with The Last Jedi. Now comes the part where I'm a little disappointed with this story, and that has to do with the script that Abrams and Terrell have written here. It's a bit flat at times, and some scenes that happen are quite predictable. Now, I did like some of the action scenes during parts of the movie, especially during the beginning. I thought that was a clever way to start the movie. However, others are lackluster at best, and really don't have any juice. I mean, one of the things that I love, and I'm pretty sure everyone loves about Star Wars, are the lightsaber battles. I mean, and the ones that happen here are kind of flat. I mean, there's no juice. I mean, a lot of people complain about the prequels, and especially the Phantom Menace, but one of the best scenes is a lightsaber battle between Qui-Gon Jinn, Ben Kenobi, and Darth Maul. Here, there's nothing here. I guess there was no emotion here, and the audience probably knew that nothing was going to happen to Rey or Ben. I mean, come on now, let's have some energy in these lightsaber battles, but they're just, okay, they're fighting, but we know nothing's going to happen. Now, all the actors are fine here. You know, they have no problem with Daisy Ridley, John Boyega, or Oscar Isaacs here. They all do what they try to do and make their characters what they are. But unfortunately, the script doesn't help them at all because it's just flat. I mean, none of the jokes they tell work. There's some type of little nice jokes, especially between Finn and Poe. But they're just there. There's nothing to grab on hold to them. It's like, unlike with Han and Luke, those jokes work mainly because of how well the script is and how great the actors are. Now, I'm not saying that Oscar and John are not good actors. They really tried their best to try to have some type of camaraderie between these two guys, but it just isn't there. I mean, even the confrontations, at least we do have the confrontations between Rey and Kylo, but sometimes they're flat. I mean, there simply is no heart in the story. Now, I don't know if that has to do with, because if I understand correctly, Rian Johnson, I believe it had his name, he was supposedly going to write and direct this final episode of this final chapter here, but after the disaster that was The Last Jedi, they kicked him out and they brought Abrams back in. So I guess they had to rush the script, and that's the reason why it just seems flat. Now, I won't spoil it here. I'll leave that for the spoiler review, but the truth of Rey's origins are so predictable, it will be a surprise to no one, and I do mean no one. I mean, I actually saw it coming in The Last Jedi. As a matter of fact, I think I actually saw it coming in The Force Awakens. That's how predictable it was. It kind of feels like it was forced so the audience will kind of feel sorry for Rey, or it's possible that she might turn to the dark side of the Force because of her origins. And once that's revealed, and some of the actions that she does take, you might think that, uh-oh, she's going to turn. But there's something that we've already seen before with Luke and his fate, which I'll talk about that more in the spoiler review. Now, we do get some cameos in this particular movie. Some I thought was not surprising, and I'll talk about that more in the spoiler review. But it was nice to see Billy D. Williams as Lando Calrissian again. Now, I won't talk about the scenes that Carrie Fisher is in. We'll talk about that in the spoiler review. I don't want to talk about that. Well, at least in the third act, we do get an epic battle scene that will probably remind people of Endgame. Yeah, there's a part, and I'm pretty sure people who've seen the movie know what I'm talking about, but that particular event happens. The first thing I thought about was Endgame, yes. Now, I was expecting a little bit more from Rey when she finally does confront Palpatine, but it seems that Abrams blew it, and we just have to settle for the lackluster ending that we got between those two. I was expecting something a little bit more epic I mean, come on, this is Star Wars. Let's see some action here. It probably would have even made the film even better if we had a better confrontation between Rey and Palpatine. Now, I know what you're saying. Monty, you really didn't like this film, did you? Well, I actually did like it despite the lackluster script. I mean, the film is still entertaining because it's Star Wars. Come on, guys. There's nostalgia here. We get some callbacks from the original trilogy. And believe it or not, CPO is actually really great here. He's not the comic relief that he was with an Attack of the Clones here. And it's kind of sad, if you want to say so, that the best character out here is C-3PO, a robot instead of a human. So overall, I did enjoy the film. I know Kelly, she enjoyed the film. She liked it a lot. She really said it was a good ending. And I think this was a good ending for a saga such as Star Wars. It's just sad that the script was kind of weak. It's kind of flat. We have no juice for the characters. We don't have any great lightsaber battles that you would expect to see in a Star Wars film. As a matter of fact, I thought the lightsaber fight in The Last Jedi was way better than this one here. And that's saying something. Now, I don't know if this is going to make the Star Wars fanboys happy or not. Based on some of the reviews I said, they really didn't like this film. We're getting some mixed reviews. And I'm not surprised. It's mainly because of the script. So I'm not surprised that this is getting some mixed reviews right here. I have not seen any of my friends' videos on Star Wars, mainly because I don't watch them. I want to make sure that I put up my video first so that the answers and my thoughts come from me and not from somebody else. So I'll watch their reviews now that I have mine up. And I just want to say, it's like, hey, look, it's an okay film. It's obviously going to, how can I put this? It's obviously should make the fanboys somewhat happy after what happened with The Last Jedi. But it is what it is. And no, it's not a bad movie. It's a good movie. It's a great way to end the saga. It's simply not great. It's not spectacular. I'll say this. It's just not Endgame. And that's what I was expecting. Something like Endgame right here. But it's not. Now, obviously, for those people who are new to my channel, when I do my thoughts and reviews, I do not rank them. I just simply tell you that if you should enjoy the film, go see it. And I think overall, I would say at least most people will enjoy this film. I'm pretty sure Star Wars fans will probably have their reservations for it, especially the fanboys. You know, like I said before, it is what it is. Now, as I stated before, I should have my spoiler review for the Rise of Skywalker, hopefully up by tomorrow night or by Monday, depending upon how my schedule is or how fast I can get my thoughts together and talk about talk about some of the stuff that I couldn't talk about here. But like I said, you know, I did enjoy the film. It's a good film. It's a nice way to end the saga, and I hope for people who do see it, I hope you will enjoy it. So that's my video for the day, guys. Hope you did enjoy it. And if you did, please hit that like button if you can. And also, if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. That way you'll be notified anytime when I put up new material. And also, if you have seen Star Wars, the Rise of Skywalker, please comment in the comment section right here. Just want to make, just be sure, do not put any spoilers in the comment section. Leave those for the spoiler review. So if you're going to spoil anything, don't put it in the comment section. Just leave it in the spoiler review. So that's it. Hope you guys, wish you guys very much. And if I don't see you before or after Christmas, have a happy Christmas, everyone. And I'm out of here. Peace.